This is the crisis management case study of the infamous Tide Pod Challenge. In late 2017, videos of people consuming Tide Pods and daring others to do the same became a viral challenge known as the Tide Pod Challenge. After 150 cases of exposure were reported, chaos broke loose and people began blaming Tide for being dangerous instead of blaming the people for misuse of the product. In response, Tide swiftly issued a series of PSAs, press statements, and social media posts in order to effectively manage this PR crisis. Before diving deeper, let's explore the organizational background. Tide's parent company, Procter & Gamble, was established in 1837 by William Procter and James Gamble. Their mission statement is to provide branded products and services of superior quality and value that improve the lives of the world's consumers now and for generations to come. Officially launching in 1946, Tide has been the industry's leading laundry detergent in the U.S. ever since. It wasn't until 2012 that Tide Pods were released as individual packs of detergent with no measuring required. Unfortunately, late 2017 to early 2018 brought chaos to Tide's brand and their products. Let's see how they handled this difficult situation. Starting with audience, Tide was successfully able to identify three main stakeholders who they wished to communicate with throughout this strategic campaign. The first and most important stakeholders were consumers who were actively participating in the challenge. The second group were bystander consumers of Tide products. And the third group of stakeholders were consumers of other Procter & Gamble products. By identifying these three specific audience groups, Tide was able to direct their campaign in the right direction and communicate directly to the stakeholders themselves. The first thing Tide had to do was to map out the key objectives of this campaign. Their first objective was to completely shut down the Tide Pod Challenge. Their second was to get all challenge-related content removed off of the platforms of Facebook and YouTube. The third objective was to provide support for those dealing with the repercussions of participating in the challenge. And their final objective was to restore Tide's and Procter & Gamble's reputations. Establishing these objectives enabled Tide to start strategically planning their campaign messages. Next, Tide designed three messages that spoke directly to their stakeholders. The first message stated that if Tide Pods had been ingested, immediate attention would be required. The second message declared that eating Tide Pods is a bad and very dangerous idea. The third message was that they do not condone the consumption of their products, and there is nothing more important to them than the safety of their consumers. Together, these three messages were effectively communicated throughout the campaign. Arguably, the most important part of any campaign, the strategies, are up next. Tide's first strategy was to provide customer support via Twitter. The second strategy was to partner with Facebook and YouTube to remove all Tide Pod Challenge related content off of their platforms. Tide's third strategy was to use the celebrity influence personnel Rob Gronkowski to create a series of social media posts designed to end the challenge. Combined with messages, these strategies served as the baseline for this crisis management campaign. Using a combination of both traditional and non-traditional media channels, Tide communicated this campaign through two major platforms: news outlets such as CNN, ABC News, and USA Today for official press release statements, and Twitter for PSAs and customer support tactics. Together, addressing stakeholders, creating objectives, messages, strategies, and using channels formed Tide's successful crisis management campaign. As soon as Tide made their first public announcement on January 16th of 2018, the number of challenge participants began to dwindle. Tide's Twitter became a safe haven for those who had ingested the pods and who were in need of support. Other media outlets, including major news stations and healthcare organizations, joined in on the conversation by using their platforms to follow Tide's lead and to promote the dangers of the challenge. Sticking to their guns, Tide reinforced the public with everything needed to end the Tide Pod Challenge once and for all. From this campaign analysis, it's clear that Tide was well prepared to take on a crisis such as this one. They were able to respond immediately with informative and powerful content, which resulted in positive feedback from challenge participants and the public. Since the end of this campaign in February of 2018, the Tide Pod Challenge officially died, and no more incidents of consumption have been reported. And best of all, Tide is back to being America's #1 laundry detergent brand. From this successful campaign, we can take away several lessons. 1. Address the issue quickly, as response time is critical. 2. Know your audience so you can choose the most effective platforms to communicate on. And 3. Set industry expectations by always prioritizing your consumers over your products. In conclusion, as social media continues to grow and become the most used outlet for PR purposes, it's important to take note of Tide's impressive tactics and realize just how sufficient their actions were in terms of handling this unfortunate PR crisis. This has been a case study of Tide's crisis management during the Tide Pod Challenge. Thanks for watching.